You guys ready for some Iron Coder action? I feel like this is just like a trite thing to say, but no matter whoever wins or loses, it took a lot of strength of character to participate in this event, so whatever. Words.
All right, our expert judges, who are currently being distracted by the fact that you can see this image on the backside too. First, we have Fred Lee.
Woo!
Fred is the CTO of Innova. Up next, we have Margaret Pagel. You saw her earlier. She is the director of sales. Look at that job she just did selling herself. And last but not least, Ryan Zen Spider Davis from Seattle RB.
Woo!
Now, your judges have all been given access to either the application, the code, or both, and it looks like maybe even notes have happened. So, let's put it on this other table where everyone can see. No, it's
be on
fine.
the laptop.
It's fine. All right, so let's put it, I got it, sorry. All right, so team number 1 is going to be the challenging team, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Zach Moneypenny and Jeff Kazmer.
Woo!
Hey, Wes, I understand you're in the middle of something. Can you give us 5 minutes on the clock? Yeah. They'll have 5 minutes.
And then when that's gone, we're going to need 5 minutes on the clock.
Do I just let my natural voice project?
Yes, or you could speak into the podium.
May I press go?
Yep.
All right. So we started, music. We thought of a few different things. Went in, took the first 30 to 45 minutes to kind of sit down and think about, well, is it going to play music? Are you going to enter or create music with it? Is it going to be something that will just fetch a playlist from a website and display it in a window? But as we kind of listed out some high-level ideas, we kind of kept coming back to the idea of a game. And it was like, well, okay, so what kind of game would it be? A game that incorporates music. Being that I was already pressed for time and felt terrified, I regressed all the way back to when I was 3 years old and thought, what about Simon? Boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. And then I fast forwarded like 25 years and thought, well, shit, man, we can make like Guitar Hero. I mean, things would be flying from the top, and you got to hit things at the right time, match them up. And then we looked at the Shoes API, and that was not possible. That's how we had. So let's play through a game of Keyboard Hero. Woo!
But wait, there's more. By which, I mean, I can reboot it. Wait for the JVM.
As we did for most of the 4 hours that we had.
All right, here we go again. I'll talk about like technical pieces.
Yeah. So one interesting thing that we did. I mean, there's quite a bit of logic under here to actually manage the creation of sequences and the comparison of the playing sequence versus what the generated sequence that you need to match versus the thing that you are inputting. But at the same time, we had to get colors and keyboard inputs and match those up. So basically, I started from the top down and started defining layouts, kept kind of defining and refactoring elements into event dispatchers and things like that, and kind of just left it there so that when Jeff worked up from the bottom, then we would have something that, okay, now we have notes. So we had like notes and sequence primitives that we could then bubble up and bind to these UI objects, and so that you could not only play Simon, but you could also
Play keyboard.
kind of be like
Four
a four-key piano bar. And this is a great V1. I mean, we have tons of ideas of where we can
If
take
anyone
this
would like
next.
to acquire us,
Monetize this. I think we can get some ads on the side there, and maybe like when you get above 8
billions,
sequences.
if you'd like to reach the market of 5-year-olds who can tolerate and configure the JVM.
All you have to do is install shoes, JRuby 1.6, not 1.7. 1.7 doesn't work. JRuby 1.74, and then you just got to go in and run the whole thing, and bam!
No, you got it running from the shoes directory though, not from
Oh yeah, you can't run from that. What? Hey. Yeah, you install 20 gems. I mean, but in the end,
You know, there was one gem that we loved working with. Mini test.
I was gonna say, but in the end, isn't it working? I mean, we're talking about our children here. Like, they need to learn Java
Did you
at some
have
point.
time to write tests?
I'm so glad you picked the fastest test framework out there.
What do you mean that JRuby is a punishment? The test suite plays MIDI in case you're wondering what that banging was.
Find out what Gem Sync. Gem Sync. The one that displays your indentation.
And time. So now we're going to give our 5 minutes, Wes, to our judges for feedback on our Iron Coder Challenger.
My start? Okay. So, first of all, I like both you guys as people.
Are we getting a compliment sandwich, Fred?
I like that you guys had tests, and I ran. They pass. I didn't really look at the tests to see if they're any good, but that's how most apps are. So I like that there's a lot of sort of separate files, which indicates object-oriented coding.
Did I mention version 2, when you win, there's a tie-in to a financial services API?
Well, we'll talk.
Loans start coming
So
out.
here's what I did. I tried playing it. It's crazy hard. You must have been practicing for 4 hours because I couldn't get past like 2 notes.
I didn't hear a lot of sympathy from the audience.
People try it and then get on.
If you have to install the whole Java stack, you want to be able to play that thing for a while.
Installing Java is the game. An unwinnable game.
Only had some tears.
Okay, so I know nothing technical, absolutely nothing. No, I like you guys too. Fred, who made me feel incredibly wonderful in that took me about 20 seconds to figure out how to play it. And then
That's joking about people getting fired yesterday.
I really liked that it was a game. I saw a lot of different uses for it outside of just what you showed here, in a multitude of different opportunities. Not only game, but using it in an educational setting. I like the keyboard, the input. I like the mouse input. I like the color input. I thought you guys did a really good job of. It wasn't, once I understood how to use it, it wasn't difficult at all, and it certainly held my attention. And it didn't hurt after about 10 minutes of talking with you guys, Jeff leaned in and started selling it with an awesome pitch, and I'm in sales, so you know, that really, really helped.
Took 10 minutes to spin up the jig.
I admit my bias. I love the fact that there was tests. That's a huge selling point for me. And the fact that we went to the test pride means a lot to me. The object decomposition was great. You actually had a good breakdown of functionality. And apparently fun is object-oriented programming, so there you go. Some things that I didn't like. Someone did not use his normal tools, so he wound up mixing spaces and tabs.
Rain it down.
But otherwise, I think that it was well designed.
Thank you.
Challenger, exit. Thank you. I'm Coder Steve. Steve comes to the podium. Podium, that's the word.
Lectern.
You just lost points. Not that I can control that.
So, quick story. Wes actually taught me that we're standing on the podium. The lectern is what the laptop is on. Think about it. At the Olympics, they stand on podiums.
Podium.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a Greek group. I was assuming they're stored as in a podiary.
You thought starting the JVM up took a while. Wait till you try using
I'm recompiling the kernel.
It's like an unfinished meal.
It's totally plugged in.
It's
just falling for time. It's just Linux.
It's just not just mostly
Try
plugged
pulling it
in.
off and then on again.
It totally worked.
Will it dust on the
But does it work?
I heard if you try alternate F4, it fixes your computer.
Did you try blowing on the port?
This thing totally ate your presentation yesterday, just fine.
Hey, wait.
I know that. It's Linux.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Coder, you have 5 minutes.
All right. So first of all, what I really wanted to build was this game I've been obsessed lately called Re-Rave. But then I realized that there's no touch. So like, you punch these little things. I've been doing it. Here's what's important about Re-Rave though. This is my friend Zizak took this video of me playing this, and he tweeted like, "LOL, Skrillex is here," right? Which like racist means my haircut. But then if you look at oh, it's not showing up. So actual Skrillex liked this on Instagram. He tweeted it and saw it. But unfortunately, no touchscreen on this, and I do not have like Ruby Motion or any of the things that would do iOS stuff. So none of that. So Franklin enjoys making lots of music and has this thing. So why don't you explain what we actually built?
Recently I've learned, or I'm learning how to make music. And the alternatives, like the software that's available nowadays, is easily like Ableton Live, which I use. At the bare minimum is $100. And we're thinking about children that might want to make music, that want to get into music and start learning how to play beats, put together sequences, and enjoy just the spirit that music has and the excitement. Even putting together something as simple as like a little fart panel for them. Something like that would be exciting and interesting for them. Perhaps they could be the next big app. And so what we wanted was to create a digital audio workstation that was minimal on features and was able to provide enjoyment to allow individuals to create a very simple sequence of beats and perhaps put together songs for themselves.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen one of these things, basically the columns are the beats with a Z, and then the rows are the sounds. So you can like pick different things to play at different times, and all that is good. And then basically when you hit the start button, I gotta plug this part in too. Computers are complicated. All right. So, and we also have this loop button, which has the little loop emoji there. But when you click it, basically it will just keep going forever until you click the loop button. Martine assaults you with anarchy, I assault you with Kesha. Yeah, so in the true, I guess, so I would say that the other team was kind of team talking trash, but we're team saying nice things, so we'll talk trash and talk we, because of our minimal feature set and the fact that we put this thing together so quickly, we were actually able to not only go eat lunch, but buy the other team lunch. So there is that.
How was your burgers?
They were going down after lunch.
That's true.
We meant the food. We just wanted to make sure it went down well. How
Went
was
down
your burgers?
nice. So there was that too.
Which means I was pocketing my $20.
Yeah. I also, we did not write any tests, but I did use 2 spaces because even though I'm terrible at Vim, that's the first thing I set up every single time. So there's that too. But we did have to dig into, probably the hardest thing about this was that we actually, in order to get sounds to play at the same times and stuff, which like kind of still sort of semi-works as you heard, but is a little flaky, we actually had to like call into Java from the JRuby APIs. So Peter Cooper was actually like porting a game that Notch made for one of the Ludlam Dare contests, and so we were able to like look at some of that code, look at some Java tutorials, and like cross our eyes and get the like JRuby Java-y stuff. So this actually like preloads this entire board with sounds and then loops through them and spins up separate threads and then plays the songs in the threads as it's going on. So even though it looks simple, there is some complication involved in that sort of stuff. But yeah, so
the idea would be we would continue to build this application to allow individuals to create music and have fun and laugh like we did after we got this initial soundboard up.
also I wrote docs for everything. So it actually describes what we did and then also the things that we wanted to do in the future because and like most docs, this comment is actually now wrong because I fixed this 2 minutes before the submission time. So like all true documentation, it gets out of sync. So that's all we got. So thanks. Anytime. As long as anyone.
Actually, wait, you can stay here
I was
for
like, what? Yeah.
Get out of here!
We're ready.
Judges?
So, first of all, I like that you have a butler.
It's very classy.
I should admit that the biggest task that I played in this team was really just keeping him off Twitter.
Very good. So I really like the idea. I like sort of the intuitive kind of stuff. I tried both apps, and this one I didn't use. And so there's actually a feature you guys didn't show that I thought was interesting. While it's running, you can change the buttons, and it'll actually react to your changes.
Right.
So it's not like kind of doing this weird thing where it caches everything first and then you can't change it. So that's cool.
I really liked it. I could definitely see a market for it, you know, in the DJ world, but I also could see it's a phenomenal babysitter for a ton of moms and dads out there.
There are a lot of moms and dads that need babysitting. So.
Yeah. It's really ingenious. I love the looping aspect of it also. The only thing that really kind of frustrated me on it was if you found a pattern or a pathway that you really liked, there was no way to identify, you know, maybe I'm, you know, 2 columns over and 6 rows down kind of thing. So maybe icons in certain positions might actually be a good idea, but I really liked it.
From a technical standpoint, didn't use spaces. Thank you. While you didn't have tests or really much object decomposition, I think you did an amazing job doing more with less. The ability of the app is very functional. It can do a lot. I've actually used one of these both physically and as software, and you nailed it. And you did that with half the complexity as the other app. Because you didn't have the object decomposition, the code's a little messier and harder to follow, but it was still very straightforward and easy to dig into. So all in all, I really like it.
Thank you. At this point, our competitors are all going to be taken by Jim back to our soundproof rooms. We'll give them just a minute to get back there, and then we'll all get to shit talk them. Rather, our judges will have their deliberations, and we will determine who will be the first annual Iron Coder. Nah. I don't know. Can you hear me still back there?
You're asking the wrong people. What time do they need?
I know. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But we just need to make sure that they can't hear us. 1 second. Be cool. Do it. Dance.
We're good, Robert.
Alrighty. Let the judgment begin.
Final deliberation so we can have a dance party.
Explanation, then final deliberation. Or no, what do you people think?
Dance party!
It's not Iron Dancer.
I'm a judge, I don't want to lose.
You can? What do you want, deliberation first or explanation?
No, we don't need to do it. We already did this.
Yeah, just so.
Can we plug this in?
So,
Can I dance party real quick?
No, actually, I can't.
Four reasons. All right, so
I think Steve won.
okay, why? Actually, you already know. Can you? Yeah. So I actually got a sneak peek into this. But if you guys already know, I don't want to make you explain it twice on stage. Let's go get them. And actually, surprisingly, they're very nervous.
But you've all agreed.
We have
Are you going to go like, what did you do? What did you vote? What did you vote? What did you vote?
vote the best 2 out of 3, or do you want us to get unanimous? Because we're not in a fight. Should we just go, who did you think won? Who did you think won?
They do it on TV.
Don't they have, aren't you breaking it down by style and testing and, come on, there need to be points here.
Presentation.
Yeah, presentation. There's
At least one at a time. At least do that.
I'm glad we sent them all back for
use
that
numbers.
lengthy debate. May re-enter the arena.
Before you tell us the scores, can you give us a quick background so we know the context from which you're evaluating?
And actually, so I apologize to this side over here. Can I get you 4 lined up over here so you can sort of face your judges? I didn't say. It's too early. Judges, if you can give both teams feedback and then announce the winner.
Didn't we give feedback?
They did. That's what that whole thing was.
Right, after the commercial.
Who won?
All right, judges.
Steve won, for me.
Margaret?
Zach won for me.
I picked Steve as well.
I think we can all declare the true winner.
Yeah.
Oh!
All right. Well, this part is very important. As you are our first annual Iron Coder, you receive this engraved ruby.
As the challenger, you get your choice of a runner-up gift. Either
Booze.
Take the booze.
either Beats by Dre or Booze by Russell.
Booze.
Judges, you get our warm thanks. Thank you, everyone who participated in this experiment, including the audience. It, I think, went very well.
I think we're all winners here, really.
Yeah, we are all enriched for having.